Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing well. Welcome to Current Affairs series with Dr. Vivek Rana. Topic for today's discussion is one country, two systems, which is in news because China has passed controversial national security law which threatens to, or you could say, hammer the cherished principle of one country, two systems, which was guaranteed to Hong Kong at time of its handover. So even though the draft law has not been made public, but there are a lot of speculation that anyone criticizing China could be imprisoned for 2 to 3 years for serious crimes. There is a provision for life imprisonment as well, and also the security agencies of China are given free hand to operate from the land of Hong Kong. So Hong Kong is quite upset that this why this China is transgressing into this system and why it is not honoring one country two systems. So we will not go into the speculation part. We will just focus on what exactly is one country two system model. So to understand this, we have to go back in the world history, annals of world history. It all started with the Opium Wars. The Opium Wars were fought between British government and the Chinese because British, being an imperialist power of that time, was looking for colonies and to just propon its self-interest. So this is where the China, being a weak power, was defeated and it had to cede some of its territories to British. So formally it was in 1898. The British government and Qing dynasty, which was ruling China at that time, had a formal agreement which is known as Second Declaration of Peking. Under this declaration, British government was given the territories around Hong Kong, or you could say islands around Hong Kong, which were called new territories, and these were given for 99-year lease. So technically, this process has to operate till 1997. It was not that the British was the sole imperialist power interested in China. There was Portuguese as well. So Portuguese had in 1557 captured Macau. So that was administered by Portuguese for quite some time. It was in only in 1970s that armed forces of Portuguese started to withdraw from those territories. So under these systems, the people were exposed to the economic policies of British and the lifestyle changes were adjusted, and eventually they accepted that way of life. So any change from now on is not likely to be accepted by those people who experience new type of rights as well as the democratic principles in more or less way. So in 1970s, so there was a Chinese authoritarian leader Deng Xiaoping. So he was the visionary leader who wanted to unify China. So he proposed this system of one country, two systems. Under this system, his main idea was to integrate Taiwan, Macau as well as Hong Kong into mainland China. Since he knew that there will be resistance for such moves, he devised this principle of one country, two systems. Under this, the economic system, the legal, administrative system would be run in almost autonomous way by these regions, but under the direct sovereignty of China. So basically the foreign affairs, or you could say defense, would come under China, and rest of the system they are free to adopt. Because in 1949, the nationalist government of China was defeated by the communists and it was exiled to Taiwan. So deep inside, China wanted to integrate the whole Chinese into one mainland. But since they had a bitterness with this communist system, so Taiwan outrightly rejected this model of one country, two system. It was not at all interested and it couldn't trust the Chinese. However, in 1980s, the British and Portuguese felt that this is a win-win situation, and in 1984 December, British government formally signed a joint declaration of Sino-British joint declaration under which they accepted this principle of one country, two systems. Portuguese followed this up in 1989 in March, and joint declaration on question of Macau was signed between them. So finally, once the legal process was completed, the Deng Xiaoping vision of integrating China was close to reality. So technically the 99-year lease had to end in 1997. So it was July 1, 1997, this system came into operation and Hong Kong was given back to the China's. British relinquished their control over it, and in 1999 even Macau accepted this treaty and it came into force. So these two regions were called specially administrative region, SARs, and these had their own economic system. They could have their own currencies, they could operate their own administrative system the way they like, and even the laws they could define of their own, but just under the sovereignty of China. So these two regions are currently under the one country two systems. However, and these countries were given the mini constitution of their own, which will operate till 50 years. So technically, the system of this one country two system has to operate till 2047 in Hong Kong and 2049 in Macau. But however, China is asserting itself and it's not waiting for 2047. It is passing some controversial laws which are contrary to the principle of one country two system. More or less they are trying to interfere in the legal matters as well. So there was umbrella movement in Hong Kong which couple of years back, which was once again created unrest in Hong Kong, and then last year the extradition bill once again created unnecessary controversy, and now the current move. So clearly China is not honoring the principle of one country two system, which was designed by itself, and both countries believe that it should be honored in letter and spirit. So this is what you have to understand. Taiwan current leadership is totally anti-Beijing, so they are not at all interested in such one country two system. So from a prelims or mains point of view, you just have to understand who was the visionary leader who coined this system. So it's Deng Xiaoping. Which are the regions which in this governance model of one country two system operates. So you have to pick Macau as well as the Hong Kong, and just the basic treaties as well as historical history of Opium War, the Treaty of Peking. These are some of the world history topics which you could go through if you want to memorize this topic. So this is what I have for this one country two system. If you have any specific doubts, you are most welcome to jot them down in comment section. I hope this session was useful. Thank you very much.